Close, come close. Oh god, no, my thing isn't here. Never mind. Everyone goes Captain Street. That's it. Hi, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Undoubtable. Happy birthday, Hilda. Happy birthday! Oh my god. Crazy that it's your birthday today. Can you go to my rubber room? Did that work? I'd give that a 4. I'm not gonna lie to you. You just left your PC and the mic out? Oh god, I do remember that. Oh god, I do. And you guys are just straight texting me. Like, I'm getting, my phone is blowing up. I'm in the car. I'm not looking at it. And then I fucking stop and I look. It's like, hey, you're streaming. Like, ah. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. Oh my god, she's never supported me in anything I do. And she looks at me every day and says, "You're filth. You don't know what the fuck you're doing." Ooh, what's it like having less kilobits than me? Oh, fucking got me. Fucking got me. Dude, can I queer complain about my family right here live on stream for a moment? Is that wise? I have gotten 70,000 passive-aggressive fucking reels on Facebook Messenger from a family member, and they texted me today, "Happy birthday," with no other words. Like 70,000 mean-ass fucking passive-aggressive reels, and then, "Oh, happy birthday!" It's like, oh, die. Fucking. Yeah. I was in the car, I was with Kat, and I said, if this is a regular happy birthday message from this person, I'm blocking them on the spot while I'm driving. And I just fucking scroll down the fucking notification, and there it was. And there it was. Out in the street. It always be my own fucking people. Now, Captain. Other? Sorry, I totally interrupted you. Oh my god, Captain, stop being funny. Stop being funny right now. They haven't been able to hear you on my stream. Fuck.
That's why I keep OBS up in a small window in the corner so I can see that bar move on the Discord.
Yeah. There's a lot of bars. There's a lot of bars that occasionally they get ignored.
I do be having bars though.
Damn. And I've always said that about you, actually.
Yeah. Hi, Pleasance Chat. How are you? It is me, your boy.
It's the boy. It's the guy. That fucking guy we love.
Yeah. Oh,
bitch.
Hi, Finn. Damn.
Wait, you ready to bitch? I'd love some bitch.
No, I said, oh, you love me, bitch.
Oh, no, fuck you. And then silence?
Yeah. So, what is the plan today?
The plan today is I'm inviting you right now to a game.
Okay.
Right now, I'm inviting you to a game. And hopefully it will tell you to install the mods.
Send that to him. Oh, you're inviting me to Warudo.
Mother!
Every Saturday!
Woo! It's a dumb fucking job for dumb people. Why are we streaming? Let's stop right now and never come back. Let's disappear from the internet together. And instead go elope in a mountain. Thoughts?
Oh.
Ooh, shit. Alright, I guess we'll keep streaming. Yeah, I found the Asterion cantrip fix, but not fucking Shadowheart.
That updated, and start getting.
And we're on fucking honor mode, so if we TPK, we run that shit back, baby. We ain't doing no fucking custom game in this, because we're not fucking cowards. We start from scratch.
W, we love to see it.
Do we? Are we gonna love to see it? When I can't wait to go past where I've played this game with this mod. Oh, flashback, by the way. Can't wait to go past where I played this game with the mod of mini bosses and get fucking jumped by a dragon that I don't expect around a corner. Because that shit has happened to me. I'm just walking innocently down. I'm like, there's no fights in this hallway. Boom. Giant fuck off bastard who wants my anus badly.
That is a great analogy.
Yeah.
That I am thinking about what class to do this time.
Ooh, okay.
And we're going, whatever I pick, I'm going to stay consistent.
You don't gotta do that. You don't gotta do that to yourself. I know commitment issues. You know, your gay brother told me. Ah!
Hey!
Ah!
Axton!
Axton, are they done with D&D?
Big dog. It sounds like they're done with D&D.
Who won?
And then they come to watch D&D.
Yeah, those fucking nerds.
Axton, thanks for the raid. Helta, if you're in here, can you get a shout out going, please? W, welcome, raiders. My name is the Captain 870. We play a little bit of anything and everything, mainly sci-fi and a little bit of milsim. But on Saturdays, we play Baldur's Gate and the occasional other game with a fuzzy moth. Say hi, Mom. Sci-fi games usually range anywhere from Titanfall to Dangerous, and then for milsim, about the only thing we play now is Escape from Tarkov. But
a good game for great people.
A good game for great people. But Raiders, if you need to raid and run, totally understand. Get up, stretch your legs, get a drink of water, go to the bathroom. If you don't need to go, kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. Axton, thank you for the raid. How are you? How is D&D? I we're gonna. I'm not. One thing I'm not gonna stray from is my tried and true half elf.
Let's go.
Because the half elf. Woke up, but it has been a struggle since I woke up.
I did not sleep as much as I probably should for being up at till 3 a.m. playing fucking Cyberpunk.
Yeah, you went. You were going. I was talking to Elta and laughing about how while you were streaming, you were like, "Oh, when you started having a little issue with the stream, it was like, well, this works out because I need to. We should probably end anyway and get some sleep for playing games with Captain tomorrow." And then I was like, I don't know why I'm playing games till like 3 a.m. And you're like, "Oh, bitch, bed."
Yeah. You're like, "Oh, I'm not doing that." It's like, "Oh, okay, cool." That's fucking. I did feel a little bad. I was like, "Oh no, Captain's probably in chat being like, man, this bitch is gonna be tired and no fun tomorrow." And then you're like, "Oh, I ain't sleeping." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I forgot." Degenerates.
Yeah,
Degenerate Club. Let's go.
Degenerate. I made bad choices with lines I said. There are now 2 sound bites of me. I cannot wait to do that. You love to see it. You hate to be it.
You really love to see it. You really fucking hate to be it.
Isn't that right, yo, bro?
So I'm banning Captain. If I ban you, will it kick you out of stream together? If it doesn't,
Yes.
That's really funny. Oh, it will?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll kick me out and just mess up the chat feed in general. Let's not say we did.
Fine. And I will say I did. I will be saying that.
What class are you thinking for this one?
That is an excellent question. I do always love my Bard Rogue thing, but I also would love to do something that I haven't done before. You know? And I don't know. There's a wild magic cleric? The fuck? Oh no, that's sorcerer. I'm on sorcerer. Like, what the hell is that?
I'm thinking I might do a sorcerer run.
Yeah? Sorcerer is pretty fucking fun. I love doing a sorcerer cleric storm shit. It's not good, but it is fun.
Thanks for the lurk, Axon. Appreciate the raid. Kick back and relax. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, bud. I think I'm gonna do a sorcerer and maybe might float into a little eldritch machine gun.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, I shouldn't meme too hard because we are on the difficulty settings.
Yeah.
We are out here doing that shit.
We're gonna start as a sorcerer and see where that takes us in life. So, half elf. I half elf because we like that free cantrip, especially because I'm a one-trick pony.
Oh?
I don't know. I just like having that extra cantrip.
I mean, real. You know what I never do? I never do fucking druid.
Druid is really fun.
Right?
Like, out there from the top row.
I just fuck with high charisma characters so much. So it's always jarring to move to something that isn't that.
Oh, yeah. Fireball from half been there.
Which cantrip?
Birthing Sinew.
Oh yeah, that was added with Death Domain Cleric.
It's a minor illusion.
Which I love with Death Domain Cleric because then you can fucking double it and give it to the next guy.
Double it and give it to the next guy. So Fireball, Bursting Sinew, minor illusion, throw a can in there because they're always handy to have.
Dude, I literally can't decide. Why can't I decide? Oh yeah! Wizard has the weird blade dance options too.
Yeah.
Isn't blade dance? Is that charisma?
Undominable says they can't hear me sometimes.
Ah, weird. Try talking.
I am the captain, and I am talking, and this is my lovely voice.
I think that's just an issue with Spotify being a bit too loud. I'm not gonna lie. So I'll turn that down a bit.
Oh, okay. Bone Shield or Shocking Grasp?
I mean, do you really want to commit to melee with a
Ray of Frost. Ray of Frost.
Okay. No movement.
Yeah.
Fuck you, can't
We'll
touch me. I don't know math. I don't know what 3 meters is. How do I
change it.
I should change it. I never do, but I really should.
You can't change it in this screen, but you can change it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Hold on. I gotta look up the Blade
about
Singer.
300 centimeters.
Thanks. Fucking thanks. These assholes. These.
I love it. Wait, hold on. Do I want to start with Sorcerer, or do I want to start with Warlock? I'm doing it again.
I don't know why I thought Blade Song Wizard used charisma for something. I guess I'm going crazy.
Crazy. I was crazy once.
Did they put you in a room?
A rubber room.
Whoa. Kinky.
We'll do an Ice Knife, and we'll do a Magic Missile to start out for spells. We're gonna stick to Sorcerer. Oh yeah, they added Shadow Magic to this class.
Which Shadow Magic is so underwhelming until you get a high enough level to get the dog. And then you have a fucking magic dog.
Yeah. You siphon your powers from the shadows itself. The light in your soul snuffed out by an unsettling darkness.
1.76284 smoots. What have I told you about making up words, Helta?
For someone who struggles with words, they sure know a lot of them.
They just be doing it. Smoots is a measurement. I'm about to smoot you if you don't fucking settle down. But if I'm a Blade Singer, I could make climax jokes all day.
It's 5-7. I thought it was 6-7. 6-7. I'll shut up.
And you should. And...
You know what? Just for funsies, I'll do the Shadow Magic route. We'll try it.
Yeah? Alright. What's in that shit?
We'll also... Backgrounds. Let's see. Noble, History, Persuasion, Sage, Arcana, and History. I'll do Alkalite. Get that insight. And I don't mess with stats on the start.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of just let the game throw it naturally.
Interesting and fascinating. Dude, I'm still deciding.
You're still deciding?
I've got decision
I'm already
paralysis.
editing.
I know.
Already editing appearance.
It's fucked up.
Chat, we're going to move to this screen because I need to check something to make sure the settings haven't changed since the last time I uninstalled and reinstalled this game. So hang out here in the Hangout for a second while I look at that. Where's it at? There we go. You go there, you go there.
Okay, Cap. I require your assistance. Do I go Warlock or Druid? Or Paladin?
Oh, what are those options again?
Warlock, Druid, or Paladin? Or I could try a dual class that I haven't tried before. I just don't know a lot of them. I know Paladin Warlock is pretty good, but I don't know anything about it.
That's tough. Follow your heart?
My heart is indecision.
As it tends to be.
I did have fun doing Hexblade Warlock every once in a while. And I love a charisma build.
Yeah, and with Warlock, you can be kind of flexible on front line, mid line.
It's true, it's true. Okay, I'm gonna do it.
W. Put that there. That there.
Alta, I refuse to. I don't like this information. I don't like that I know it. I don't like that you know it. I don't fuck with it.
You get that. Oh wait. Piercings. Those go there.
But Oathbreaker Paladin could be fun. I don't even know their shit. I just like having followers. I like summoning undead.
Summon, yeah.
I like having friends.
Oh yeah, you have the hair mod.
Yeah, if you want an NPC's hair, it's available to you. And we'll just kill them because there can only be one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair. I don't know. I kind of have a preference, and it's hard to get away from that particular aesthetic. And it is somewhere. Where are you? Where are you?
And I'm so sorry.
I cannot sleep.
Cannot dream. No. God.
Where is it?
We're really out here doing shit.
Yeah, it is real bullshit hours.
It's just been a while since we've both streamed together, so I feel like our brains are recovering and also putrefying.
That's a very good. Those are very good words. Those are words.
God, of all the words you could have done, those were among them.
those were there. They were it. That's that one. Where is that hair? Because everything's moved around a few notches because of new.
Oh, because new hairs. Yeah.
New hairs.
Oh yeah, you're looking for a very specific one, aren't you?
Yeah. Zoom it out so I can see a little bit better. I learned about it from YouTube of Curse. Helta, you've infected me with your ability to read. You know what? We'll go with the ponytail. We'll go with the Twisted Sinister. It's one of my go-tos.
Let's go.
And Black Raven, because I have two favorite hair colors in this game: Black Raven and Strawberry Blonde 3. And and
you know,
don't do facial
you know so
hair.
much about specific hairs, and I fucks with that.
Yeah. I'm a hair connoisseur. Yeah. Looks good.
Breakcore is how dyslexic curse gets cemented. Wait, I believe that. I never believe Vapor on anything, and I believe that.
So...
Of course you watched a YouTube video of cursed units, Helta. You nerd. You lovable robot.
a half-elf shadow magic sorcerer. We have Firebolt, Bursting Sinew, Minor Illusion, Mage Hand, and Ray of Frost. And then for starting spells, we got Ice Knife, Magic Missile. So I think we're good. I just need to come up with a name. Chat, what's this character look like to you? What are we feeling? What's the vibe?
Wait, I can't even see him. Ah! Curse me and closing tabs.
Yeah, I feel that. Oh god, that air conditioner's rocking. Who's trying to make me drink water?
Oh, those are my favorite fucking paints of all time. The facial paint, the fire neck thing.
Oh yeah,
That shit's
Max.
hot.
Max, are you trying to get me wet? It's working. Thank you. I was very thirsty. I am. You know what? We'll do that. Esker. Esker's a character I like a lot. That I have written stuff about. Do you remember the first time you made a character in Baldur's Gate?
When I showed my tits on stream?
Was that the first time you made a? No, I was talking like in general when you first got the game. Yeah.
Oh my god, do I? Do I remember that?
I remember spending 2.5 hours making a character and just being like enamored with the entire experience and how like draining it was to like finally make a character and be done. And then I make the character and then I spent 20 minutes coming up with the name for the character and thinking, like this took so long, but it was such a good experience and I'm glad I finally got over that hurdle of a game with really good customization. And then I hit proceed and then you gotta do it again.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I was so like fucking mentally drained that's when my pattern of starting to make the guardian just like a weird reflection of myself.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I cannot be fucked to come up with another thing.
We'll do that. No. We'll do that. And then we click venture forth. And I am finished.
Dude, you are gonna be sitting there for a second. You best get ready to entertain chat.
Oh no. Max, I'm doing great today. How's your Saturday going, bud?
Terrific work. I'm trying to find a skin tone I like. I think gray would be cool for a Hexblade Warlock orc. I've never done half orc.
Okay, you're getting in there with it.
Because I always want to be, like, I don't know, much more femme, I guess. But I'm challenging myself to make a large woman.
Big lady.
Big lady. Because it's my birthday, and I'll be large if I want to.
You know what? Fair and valid.
Thank you.
Kind of based.
Well, I do my best.
Uppies.
I can't see green without thinking of fucking Incredible Hulk. Like, Marvel has forever ruined a green orc for me. I guess Warhammer also has green orcs that, like, stick to mind pretty iconically, but I don't know. I like red orcs. I like gray orcs. Green orcs, there's something in my brain that goes, eh. I come with scratches already. Is there a second place for scars, or half orcs just like pre-scarred for my convenience? Pre-scarred for my pleasure. Yeah. Yeah.
Well. Yeah.
That's gonna be a hell of a dildo tagline. I'm not sure what it means. But I'd buy it.
Oh, I know one thing I can entertain chat with. Chat, do you like memes? I have some saved in OBS here, one of which is of the wonderful moth. Let's just show that off for a second.
Oh shit, is it the one you sent me?
Oh, no. I haven't shown anybody that since that had stuff that you haven't finished showing yet.
That's right.
Check it out. Moth in all her glory.
Oh yeah. Oh, that is a good one. That is a banger.
That was the first meme I made when I truly understood and had learned how to do layering in Photoshop. But I am a connoisseur of memes. We love to do a mild amount of shit posting.
A little bit of tomfoolery.
A little bit of tomfoolery. Which you can see a lot of if you come hang out in the Discord, because I have one of those now.
True, and it's really good. It's got fucking banger folks.
It's got banger memes, banger people. Show up, let me steal your memes, show me your food, show me your pets, show me your pets.
This is not a request. You know what? I'll also have a neck tattoo.
Yeah, it's not a request. It's definitely a demand. This is hold on. Sorry. I had a text from someone that's a work number, and I had to look real quick and just be like, oh, okay, you're just trying to, like, talk to me.
Do you need something? No? Then fuck off!
Yeah, I love, and I use love very, very sarcastically, how people that I interact with in a work environment think that I want to interact with them in a not work environment.
I downloaded this new hair mod, and I'm not going to be using it, and you're not going to be using it. It's going to be great.
It's funny. But yeah, I make a lot of memes. Got this one, Moth. Got a cheeky little Hoya meme. It's one of my tried and trues, one of my finest works. Let me see what you're working with, baby girl. Oh, woo! Damn.
Bones.
I just now thought about that when I asked you about when you first making the character. You said when I showed my tits on stream. I forgot that happened.
It's a good moment. It's a great moment.
A canon event.
It was an event.
Yeah, it was a thing. It happened. It was so funny because we had just talked about it. We had just talked about like about looking up the setting to make sure that wouldn't happen.
Yeah. I don't think any of these haircuts work except for maybe Jahira's, but I like Jahira and I don't want to look the same as her.
That water is very much hitting today. Big stretch.
Huge stretch.
Huge even.
Where's my clicker?
Oh. What?
Huh? Sorry, for somebody else.
you sure you don't need it, baby girl?
Hey now, where the fuck do you even get that? What the hell? I didn't fuck with that at all.
You know who I hang out with.
True, and I just know Helta yelped. I would like to formally apologize for how long I take on character creation.
No, it's fine. You want it to be a certain way. You definitely
I love a backstory. So I have a backstory in mind already, and now I'm like, I need a thing that tells that story silently.
Yeah. Just a heads up, folks. On my side, we have an ad in about a little over 4 minutes. Just letting you know.
What a kind and benevolent soul Captain is.
Yeah. I had issues on Thursday's stream with ads.
Oh?
It at the start of I have I push my ads through the MooBot dashboard. That's what I primarily use for all like my commands and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so since everything's right there, I just let it handle pushing the ads.
Yeah.
At the start of Thursday's stream, MooBot pushed the ad and the regular baked-in Twitch settings that I have turned off so MooBot can do it also push the ad at the same time. So it double stacked 3-minute ads. I don't think I think it still only played a 3-minute ad break, but it had both of them stacked up in the queue feed. And after that point, both Twitch and MooBot did not do it automatically the rest of the stream, and I had to do it myself.
Oh, very, very fucking weird.
For the entire stream, and then at the end of stream, when I was getting ready to start raiding out, it all of a sudden I got the notification on my my manager dashboard that it was getting ready to push out an ad. So I hit snooze one time.
Mm-hmm.
I had 3 snoozes. Like I'm looking at it right here. I've got 3 of 3 snoozes. So I hit snooze. Supposed to give you 5 minutes.
Yeah.
After I hit a 5-minute snooze, about 2 minutes later, it just started playing the ad anyway.
Fucking weird.
Yeah. And I was like, that's weird, and I hope that fixes itself later. And it looks like it has.
Yeah, yesterday the snooze was fighting me, but I just never use snoozes, so I was just like, maybe this is just how fucking janky they are in general.
No, not really. But I did re-authenticate. I logged out of the MooBot dashboard and re-authenticated and re-logged it, so I'm thinking maybe that did the fix for whatever my problem was. I'm hoping. Here's to hoping.
Here's to hoping.
Yeah.
Okay, it's taken me 70 fucking years, but I've settled on the hairstyle fine. I started on.
We only have to do this once this campaign. So
It's true. We won't possibly die and then have to do it again.
Yeah. Just take screenshots of all your sliders and settings.
Ooh, valid. Actually, really smart.
If you can't remember, I build the same character every time, looks-wise, so...
Yeah, that's
it's
probably
not hard for me.
For the best.
Yeah.
I was trying to use eye makeup to make it look like I kind of have eye bags.
Really?
Yeah. That's just information I felt like sharing in that moment.
No. Share what you want.
But it's harder on gray skin. Because actually all it does is make your skin look lighter and not actually darker.
Yeah. It really do be like that sometimes.
People say it don't. But it do.
But it do. It do.
Yeah, I can't.
So, all in all, have you had a good birthday so far?
Yeah, I got taken to 3 different breakfast joints for 3 different drinks. The first one made me shit myself. The second one was a very good sandwich. And the third one is an energy drink I'm still drinking. So, all in all, 66% ain't bad.
oh. What was the drink?
The first one, a chai latte. Which,
Okay.
like,
no,
all chai
actually,
has,
kind of
like, powdered
fair.
milk in it. I think they add more to it. Because this shit makes me fucking die. And I'm not ordering it. Every time I go there and I forget I love their iced tea, I'm just like, oh, they don't really have energy drinks. I'll just get, like, a chai. A chai will work. And then I forget that it's gonna make me shit myself. And then my lovely girlfriend reminds me, like, a half hour later, shouldn't you have gotten the tea? It's like, oh, yeah, fuck. I like their tea. So anyway, that's my incredibly problematic problems that definitely matter and are not easily solved.
Hold on. Undominable. I drink 4 liters of milk.
He says that all the time. Someday I'm gonna make him send me a video of him chugging milk, and
Let's
then ban him.
not do that. Have you ever?
Yeah, he'll vomit because milk is bad.
A little Captain lore.
Oh, you did it?
No, I didn't do it. One of my friends did it. We stayed up. We were in high school, as people that make bad decisions usually are.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the peak of the 2000s. So, which means it was the peak of the dumb challenges, like the gallon challenge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The spoonful of cinnamon. I did that one.
Ooh, yeah, that one sucks.
That one sucks.
I watched a friend chug a gallon of milk. It took them 35 minutes. The after effects were catastrophic.
Catastrophic is a frightening word that you don't want to hear for that particular kind of thing.
Yeah. And I just imagine what we looked like, because we had stayed up all night. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning after we had stayed up playing Halo 3 all night. Halo 3 had just come out, to give you like timeline context. And just, we stayed up and we were like, some of us were watching YouTube, some of us were playing the game. It was an era where, like, on a Friday night, the entirety of my high school experience, every Friday night, my entire friend group would pick one person's house, and we would all just sleep over that night.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were doing that, and everybody was like either playing the Xbox or playing music or watching videos on the computer, and we found the gallon challenge, and we're like, well, we could do that. And one of my friends was like, yeah, all right, let's go. So we just went to Walmart, got a gallon of milk, come back, and he chugged a gallon of milk in the parking lot. You cannot do that.
Nope.
Physically impossible.
You sure can't. That's fucking hell.
We were not very smart children.
That's so funny. Captain, guess what?
What?
I finished my character.
W.
I'm on to the Guardian.
Now you get to do it again.
Now I get to do it again.
About the only thing I do for my Guardians now is I pick race, sub-race if it needs it, and then I add a face paint.
Yeah, that's most of what
tattoo.
I'm doing. I'm trying to find a... There's a weird glitch happening with the one face paint that I really wanted. So now I'm just like at a complete loss. I had a plan coming in, and now the plan has met the enemy and not survived. And
the classic doing shit in the parking lot part of childhood, very much so. On a Friday night, and when I say like my group of friends, there would be anywhere from 10 to 20 of us. On a Friday, we would all get together and we'd go watch an afternoon or evening movie at the movie theater as one giant group. Then we would go to Waffle House, pretty much take over the Waffle House, and then all of us would pack into one person's house for the night. And that's how I spent every Friday night from 2006 to 2010.
Captain, I forgot to change a thing on my character.
Ooh,
Captain, this will take seconds.
Yeah, no. You're good.
I think someone should beat me over the head if I take more than 20 minutes to make a character.
No. You know, trust me. If I feel like you start taking a little bit longer than should be required, I'll guide you along real, easily.
Okay. Yeah. Oh. Okay. That really shouldn't work on me. That's just so bad for.
But it does work on you, and that's all that matters.
I was so convinced it wouldn't.
Fuck. At least it is a fire alarm in all caps. I feel like I know what Helta meant to say there.
Classic Helta of changing is to isn't and isn't to is.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Well, if you insist.
I mean,
You gotta tell me once.
I bet.
Die. Okay, wait. Look at my guardian.
That's crazy.
It fucking worked.
Insane work. My hand just kind of slipped there.
Slipped twice, thrice even.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Captain! Which thinks my bitrate is excellent.
Really?
My cock is hard, my face is beautiful, my makeup on point. Nothing could go wrong.
The vibe's immaculate.
Captain, did you look at my guardian? Because you'll never see her again, because we have different guardians.
Yeah, I've been taking peeks over there.
Okay, that's it. I'm ready to venture forth.
Let's go!
Let's go!
He's pulling his cock up!
He's pulling his cock up! This is what I've been waiting for!
That's what I'm talking about, baby! Moist Critical, like, affects me spiritually.
He, this information does not surprise me.
No.
But I do fucks with it.
It's a very solid baseline for my humor.
Yeah. If one of us skips this intro, do we both skip it?
I'm down to skip it.
And there it is.
And there it was.
And there it was. It's a very good intro. 10 out of 10.
It's a very good intro. I've seen it so many times.
Yeah. Yeah. If this wasn't a redo, like if this wasn't a New Game Plus of our campaign together, I would say don't skip it. But oh my god. So have you played Honor Mode before?
No, I have not.
I played it once. I was high out of my mind. I forgot I was playing it. I TPK'd and then I closed the game.
One thing I need to do is options, audio.
God, you're hot.
Volume. We're gonna master audio up to
the
60.
sorcerer fit plus that.
Oh, that's why. That's why everything felt low. I had the volume wheel turned down on my headset for some reason.
Oh.
I've been wondering why everything on my computer has sounded low this entire. How long have we been? Like an hour and 10 minutes.
Jeez.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Also, I think I may turn my settings down a little bit.
Oh, I only get one spell. Thought I started with two.
We'll go high and see. My computer.
How further can I go?
Like the game looks good on my end. Looking at the feed in OBS and on my stream manager, it's looking kind of sluggish.
Oh, weird. Wait.
I don't know if that's actually the case.
Unpause it. Try and walk around for a sec. Because I have your stream open.
Yeah, it's not the game part itself. It's like the Fugies. I can tell that it looks like it's
they are a little sluggish.
Yeah.
Weird.
Let me just real quick. Task manager. What are you telling me? We'll do that with task manager open and see what happens. GPU at 99%
Ooh,
usage.
that's not what you want to see.
No, 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 baby girl.
Don't stop that.
That is don't do that. You're so pretty. Video. Where? Okay, high. Let's do medium.
Let's see what this does.
I think in honor mode
That do
you can
anything?
only use these things once.
Switching it from high to medium dropped it from 99 to 95.
That's grim. Do you
Nope,
want to
never
try
mind.
turning it off and on again?
No, hold on a second. Options, video. Okay, we're not doing that.
Also, my lovely chatters, and I'm not just doing this because Captain did it and it makes me
Do
feel
that.
bad that I never remembered to. We have an ad in 3 minutes. So get your fucking anuses ready for that one. Get your abstinence anuses ready as well, but like for after.
We're gonna free update. I heard that. I know exactly what that noise is.
Sorry.
Cloud
did.
quality. We'll leave textures on high. Texture filtering. We'll turn down. Do medium.
How you quick
Instance
save in this game?
distance.
There it is.
We'll turn that down. View distance of smaller objects. Makes me put that on medium. Medium.
Technically, what I just did could have killed you, which would have been really funny. It was
That would've
1d4
been-
damage, and if it had... I don't know if random explosion damage can crit. But if it can,
No.
that is 8 on the dot.
Turn off bloom. Surface scattering. We'll turn that off. Switch more dynamic interactions when engaging otherwise primitive crowd characters. This will impact performance. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see what that did. No, my GPU's just hanging out at 9. It's floating between 97 and 99%.
Huh.
It's Baldur's Gate and OBS.
But we've done this before,
Yeah.
and it hasn't done that shit.
No.
I mean, try turning your computer off and on again. I know it's a pain in the ass, but I mean, I guess if it's not doing anything
just
except making the Foogies lag, I guess that's fine.
If you're looking at my screen, is the game itself running okay?
Yeah, the game looks like it's running great.
Okay, well then I'll just deal with that.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I'll just deal with the settings that I changed, and we'll just go with it from there.
Cool. Yeah, you can only use these things once in honor mode, which is a random little change. I guess maybe later in the game that matters.
Maybe. Are we getting a brain?
Doesn't it? I mean, sure, why not?
We can try.
Try it. Ooh, can I steal your staff, by the way?
Yeah, sure.
Here, you can have a knife.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, yeah, no, you need that.
It's much better than a knife. And by much, I mean D6 versus D4, which is, I guess, not much.
Yeah.
Or actually, D8. No, I lied. This is much better. I'm a beast. Weird.
She's gooning chat.
I love numbers. I love the number rocks.
Yeah, pretty rock make brain go brrr.
I organized my dice collection while I was moving into this office, which was definitely a relevant thing to do.
Yeah,
I came on the spot.
and we love that. All right. Who am I talking? I think you're past the point of saving. Tell me what to do.
From this body, from this case, free us.
You like the way they talk.
I do like the way they talk. We're going to do a cheeky little investigation.
Lucky it's not a wisdom check. Otherwise, you would have nat 1'd it.
Oh yeah. No. I am not wise.
Notice edema, a swelling of the brain causing pressure where it strains against the shell of the skull.
Ooh. Okay. So we got a -1 to strength roll,
Yep.
+1 to dex roll, but I do got advantage on the medicine. So
Because you did the
because I did the
investigation.
investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
There we go.
Damn.
Love to see it.
First wisdom check of the game succeeded. We're gonna ace this fucking campaign. Nothing can stop us now.
Success.
Me when Captain reaches his fingers into me.
The brain lifts from the skull. But you
But you haven't got your birthday present yet. That's later.
Hey!
You could cripple the strange creature, making
We
it
gotta switch to a
more
whole different Twitch
subservient, should it
for that.
prove a threat.
What do you think?
I love mutilating a brain. What's your background for this character? You haven't played a sorcerer.
I have not played a sorcerer all the way through, and I have not done this subclass of sorcerer for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Ah! Hold on. Frog in my throat.
Damn. Wish it were me.
Oh, that was terrible. Anyway, haven't quite come up with anything for this one yet.
I think I'm doing like a
I
practical
do have
idiot.
I do have an Esker of the Ember.
An Esker of the Ember.
Yeah, I generally, anytime I make like a fantasy character, the name, I come up with names for them that if you close your eyes and thought of that and said that name out loud, your brain would go to something Dark Souls.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Like Esker of the Ember, Forsaken Jonah, that kind of stuff.
I love
I'm
a
a spare.
title.
I'm a spare.
All right. We like our little brain friend.
Yeah. Look at all them wrinkles. Couldn't be me.
Ugh,
Nice.
never.
Free.
I'm
Mine
too
is smooth.
carefree.
Our freedom is ours.
So smooth,
friend.
anything you say will just roll
The
right
creature
off.
pauses,
And that's the way we like it.
listening.
Yeah.
Something behind your eyes seizes in recognition.
We must
I
go to the
love the
helm.
animation they always use for
No,
the
I need it.
psychic link.
Mm-hmm.
Just they throw that hand up.
It's like, oh. Maybe when we moan simultaneously.
To the
Yeah.
helm we go.
Transgender Jesus Christ, you gotta buy Baldur's Gate 3. It's for
It
the
is-
queers.
So good.
Murnith. Wait, can you
And then we-
speak to death with Murnith? Can anyone speak to death this early in the game? Probably not.
Who could have speed with dead at level 1?
Probably no one.
Probably.
All
Hey,
right,
Spooks is here.
Bazel. Spooks! Like they read in the McDonald's menu? What? Huh? Who? Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, that's the hand motion you make when you're reading the McDonald's menu? How? Is it just like
You were-
overwhelming, or
You were thinking very hard about that Mickey D's.
it's like so many options?
This is your end.
As much as I would love for you to penetrate me, Bazel,
And your
I'm
skin
twice your
tingles.
size.
Visions rush past.
Oh, I know
dragon's
one
wing,
thing
a
that could
silver
probably be
sword,
hurting me right
and
now
a
on my
flash of
computer.
your face, seen through the strange woman's eyes.
Totally totally don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 tabs open
Oh,
on my
you
browser.
kinda dumb.
Blesses me this day.
You kinda-
Together.
you hate the
we
green
might
lady.
survive.
It's not my first playthrough, but I've only ever gotten to fucking Act 2. Ow. Who are you?
Who am I? Your only chance.
I
of
love
survival.
Bazel.
Bazel's really good.
I wish she
used
weren't
to-
so racist. But you know,
I used to really. My first run of this game, I hated her. I hated her so bad. She
Yeah.
didn't make it out of Act 1.
That must be our
damn,
priority.
you killed her?
I just didn't
First,
recruit her.
exterminate.
And if you don't recruit her,
Find
She
them
dies.
and
she
take
don't.
control of the
Yeah.
ship. As for that thing, it will remain tame as long as it believes.
You know
we
that
are
one point where you
thralls.
make her, where you look at her and go, "Say please," and she says never. I canonically, for my character on that run, said, "Say please." She said never. It's like, all right, we'll just hang out up there.
You can get yourself out of that, and then get yourself into whatever you want.
Yeah. The rest is on you, baby girl.
Shouldn't have
I like it when people are a little mean to me.
Ooh. Okay. Let me move you over here.
Can I can't redo the Hexblade's curse. That's just regular hex that I can redo. Okay, well, doesn't really matter.
Help me remember. The restoration stations work like a long rest, right?
Like a short rest, I thought.
Like a short rest.
But I might be wrong on that. It might be a long rest.
So
You probably shouldn't use up your spells.
yeah.
Damn. You and I fucking miss.
Hey.
Damn.
That's there. All right. There
Okay.
we go. That's better. That's better. That's better.
A solid 3 damage.
And then we loot everything.
A year. I'm running you for your foams. I'm taking your fucking skull.
What's, as I say every time I kill somebody in Tarkov, what's in your pockets?
See, I like it when characters are a little annoying. I feel like I'm never. Ah! Leave me be. Okay, do you want to try and see if this is a long rest? I don't have anything that recharges on a long rest.
The only thing I have that recharges on long rest are the my spells, and you only get 2 of those.
Right, don't want to
now.
waste them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of wasting resources and doing extra shit, should we kill the 2 fucking little brain things? Or try to? Or do we not want to risk it?
Let's see.
The brains running around up here, it
Yeah.
will auto aggro our friend against us.
This is true. This is very true.
Mind flayer
And I really
shield.
like him. I want to keep him.
Psionic energy.
I mean, we can't keep them, can we? Oh. Oops.
I don't know.
Hello.
I'll let you talk to your girlfriend. Or is she gonna be your girlfriend this run?
I don't know. I don't know the.
Time for stragglers.
Honestly, Lae'zel kind of fits the character I'm building in my head a little better.
Okay. She can be my girlfriend.
We love the emo girls. We love kind of annoying women.
On
Feel them
on
drawing
God,
energy from
the first time I
console
played this
into the
game
pod.
Are you
and got
satisfied? We need to
Shadowheart,
go.
I immediately looked at the black hair, the thick eyeliner, and the attitude and said, I can fix you. But I don't need to because there's nothing
The
wrong
console
with you.
appears
I'd rather
daily.
you
The
just made
console
me
hums
worse.
to life.
Yeah.
Yippee!
The pulse, perhaps it will open the nearby pod. Suddenly,
I'll go
then
ahead and go get the
discomfort
thing.
Fades, and another sensation.
I'm just gonna
washes
open it.
over you.
Oh, can you open it without
Yep.
the
You feel the biomechanical
Really?
brain
Yeah, if
of
you're
the
magic.
console process
And you
your
succeed a
command.
couple things.
A shift shiver
Oh,
across your
okay.
mind.
We still need to go loot that room though.
True.
At last.
At some point here in the
Thought
next few
that damn
seconds.
thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind
Damn.
latches into her
Put me in a
thoughts.
dress.
Her gratitude is
Already?
mixed with
Right in.
wariness, because you have a gift with you.
Nah.
keep
Bunny
dangerous
suit
company.
peak. Dress cool, bunny suit peak.
You know, we're not taking notes. We're not taking requests for, except that we are. Except that
Fair
we
point.
literally are taking requests.
Yeah,
Looks
we're
there's
literally
plenty
taking
we're
of
requests.
literally.
Let me come with you.
Yeah,
We can get off this ship and watch each other's
literally,
backs along the way.
in the redeem menu.
No, I fuck with. I can fix her only for Karlak because yeah, she just broke. She needs a mechanic.
Yeah.
She don't.
Yeah,
I can't be your therapist, but fuck, you
Shut
want me
it
to
up.
root around in there?
One moment.
Say less.
say less. Yeah,
Actually, Karlak would probably fit this character the most because I have the soldier background.
It's
What's that?
nothing. There's no time to.
Okay, now we go loot this room. You want a scimitar?
No, I'm alright.
Okay.
How many hosts of this gay infected?
Look at us go.
This might unlock those
I got us some
controls
health
next to the
pots.
pod. The brain
Let's
energy.
go.
Love pot.
Love some pot. Where's Druid when you need her?
Then we unlock this one.
Oh yeah, we don't have a rogue. Oh, there's just a regular key.
Yeah, that first body when you walk through the door that has a scimitar has a key for that.
Yeah. I literally never knew that. I fucking
you-
pick
you-
up that chest
you-
every time and wait till I grab a Asterion.
You are making packed weapons. Do you want to get the Everburn?
I wouldn't mind trying for it.
Okay, let me change.
Yeah. Hit command.
Is it? Whoops.
Forward.
Damn. I should have used hex before we did that. No.
I pressed wrong button.
Oh wait, it's still active. Oh, you used a regular short rest. Oh, well that don't matter.
Yeah, I pressed wrong button to pull up menu. We'll take.
There's a shortcut
the
for a
old-
short rest?
I think I pressed Y
Oh.
and it did it.
Better than nothing.
That
So it
helped.
does.
So it does, and then we need command. Okay.
Note to self, don't
All
press
right.
Y.
Yeah, don't press Y accidentally.
Actually,
Or-
third short rest?
Yeah,
Oh, that does look like a long rest, doesn't it?
it does.
Yeah.
Let's look. Yeah, that does look like a long
We're
rest.
nearing the helm.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, first time running this part, this first For Honor run.
But, I mean, we just won't stick around, right? If we can't get the sword right away, we bounce. Because if we have to face 3 demons, we die. And then we have to redo
Yeah.
this shit. And you have to wait an hour for me to remake this character.
Oh God, yeah, no,
It's not worth it. It's not.
What happens if I die and you don't? Can I just remake a character and rejoin?
No. We can still revivify each other.
Oh, okay.
It's
okay,
just
okay.
TPKs that are...
TPK
fatal.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. TPK bad. TPK funny.
TPK could be funny, though. And maybe I should have written somewhere in the
Opportunity
title that
for
we're on
water.
an honor run.
The nerves of the transponder. We must
It's
escape
fine.
now.
Do it. We will deal with the geich after we escape.
Okay.
Connect the nerves. Nerves. We will connect them.
Can Shadowheart
This thing's falling
get it
fast.
on first
Got to
try?
right.
We'll wait till one of us is close.
I've never had him pick it back up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, never mind then.
W. Go here. Command.
Wait. What kind of save is it?
A
Probably
wisdom save.
Wisdom? Oh, I can
Yeah.
only give them disadvantage on checks. Never mind. Carry on.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Perfect.
We fucking love to see it.
I will ascend.
That's all movement and all moves. Your turn.
How do I dash? Sorry, I forgot to move everybody's shit in the thingy. Very important. Vital.
It's very, very important. I have felt like I've needed to sneeze for 10 minutes.
Taking position.
Yeah, no, there will be no, like, heroics here. We're getting the sword and we're leaving.
Yeah.
Keep you occupied.
Go us. Punch that dog. Guessing DL redeems are a no-no since y'all speedrunning? We're not literally speedrunning. I'm just being silly.
No, if we were speedrunning, like, it'd be a different ballgame.
I wouldn't have taken an hour on my character creation.
Yeah, no, we would have already, we would have just made characters and went and got Gale.
Yeah, and
Because
run
the
to Act 2.
Yeah.
Okay, well, fuck you too.
Victory awaits.
Now I'm curious, can I? Where? Oh,
Sorry. Continue.
try it again. I just want to see if it'll work. No,
Damn. No groveling. No making the
No
Demon Lord
groveling.
grovel.
no. Dash.
Okay, we got the sword. We got some EP. Fucking scram.
Yeah. Yeah. Cheese it.
Start as Gale for the speedrun track? That makes sense.
Yeah, you can.
You have to put Shadowheart into a box? What do you mean by that?
Anything of
Like-
use?
Leave her in her box, I get, but put her in a box. I'm just out here looting. Looting and / or shooting.
I am fury. I am death. This'll do.
There we go. Did you picking up some extra stuff for us?
Yeah, just grabbing fucking everything.
A little bit of everything.
Okay. Go us! Kill the commander! He ain't shit. You have 27 HP.
Oh, okay. I see what I was talking about. You do a thing with Shadowheart, and it makes the game wig out, and
Oh.
like basically sends you straight to that act, the fight scene in Act 2 that you would need Gale to end the speed run for.
I see.
Oh, I just now realized our hit points.
Ah, it's fine.
Your spine is mine.
Me when I punch a Mind Flayer to death because some random asshole showed up and stole my sword. Again,
No traps, please.
literally doesn't even know who we are. Did not know we were here. Took his shit. Ran.
There we go. I don't like
Time to strike.
how close you are to me. Wait. No, not that one.
My path be true.
Merry Christmas.
Yippee! Yippee!
Target too heavy to shove. Let's go. I am baby.
Small. Yeah, you're a sorcerer, you silly dork.
I'm usually playing Marshall. Leave
You
me
ever
alone.
fucking try and wrestle a pig? You ever try and do it as a librarian? Yeah.
Yes, actually. Not as librarian, but yes, actually.
Yeah, no, I believe that about you, actually.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Have we?
Yeah, the feral hogs.
Oh, fuck. I was talking about like a fairground. No, you actually did that shit. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You got stabbed.
Yeah, I got it's a scar on my leg that's literally, it's just like a nickel dot. Where I got poked and cartwheeled.
Just a little prod.
That was fun.
Seems like it. Seems like it would be.
It was not fun.
Captain, I'm gonna leave it to you to entertain everyone while I go get the liquids to put into my body.
Okay. So when you coming over?
I'm running. I'm doing my best.
See you in 20 hours. Anyway. Chat, how we doing? Everybody enjoying their Saturday so far? I am going to... Let me look at it. No, yeah, I'm going to turn the game capture down just a smidgen. Since we also have Moth in here, that way it's not overtaking everybody. Or overtaking anybody. Still alive? Spooks, that's all anyone asked. You put your feet on the floor this morning, you're in the game. Oh, I am still on the struggle bus, but the Red Bull is bringing me back slowly but surely. And this water is hitting as well. I put it back in the fridge last night so it'd be like ice cold. Got your coffee? W. How do you drink your coffee? You straight black guy, some sugar and cream. What you got? Weather's been very pretty good lately. This makes my job difficult. I can imagine. The weather here is warming up rapidly. Today's high is 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and it looks like it's going to hit it before the heat of the day. Sort of a double-double at the moment. We love double-double. When I drink coffee, I get dark roast, and I brew it strong, and then I do 1 sugar and just enough cream to change the color, and that usually hits for me. Enough sugar to where I can hear color. No, I can't have coffee that sweet.
The tadpoles
If I'm drinking coffee, I
in
do
your
not want it
scalp.
sweet.
The only way I can drink coffee is chocolatey as fuck, because it masks the taste of coffee.
The chaos of the crash site confuses
How very
the
white girl
landscape.
of you.
I
You need to
know.
find a settlement or landmark. and
It's
you'll
fine.
need to do it quickly.
Hey, can I have a
tadpole
mocha
is a death
cappuccino,
sentence.
except make
Do
it like a
you-
latte and not a cappuccino, because I don't know what the fuck a
You need a
cappuccino is.
cue.
I'll kill you,
What
I'll kill
color-
you.
What color is your sippy cup?
Clear with a naked girl on it. I'd be buying the Gamer Subs cups.
Which one?
I have Noomies because it came with the horns, and I have Cottontails because that's my parasocial wife.
Both are very valid and both are very based.
I do my best.
All right. Let me go wake Shard
One
up.
day I'll catch a break.
What up, baby girl? What you doing on this beach today?
Be cool. Oh, are you ready for the mini
BB
boss
cool.
fight up here? You forget about that one?
Oh yeah. You're alive. I'm alive.
How? Why? Oh shit, the
I
Ever
got
burned the
one.
blade. I left it with fucking Lae'zel. Son of a bitch!
No! I do that every time. I know where we're going. I know
alright.
where we're going
Yeah,
straight to.
yo, now like go get that asshole.
Which will be fine. That with Bazel, Shadowheart, your Hexblade Warlock, and me will have all modes of range covered.
Right? And a half healer. Oh yeah, Shadowheart starts as a death domain in this one. If you want to switch her to something else, that is your prerogative.
She starts as Death Domain.
Yeah, I think I got a mod that gives her death domain. Maybe.
I'll take a look at it once we get out of this dialogue.
Because I always switch her to that instantly.
I usually go with Tempest.
Tempest is pretty sick. And still matches flavor-wise, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Death Domain Cleric. No, I'll mess with Death Domain.
It's
I haven't really
fuck
messed
with
with
it. I love double cantrips. Double it and give it to the next bitch.
Just out of view. Best be on my way.
Me just.
I just wanted to lock them into initiative.
One strike could be lethal.
You know, I came this way to sneak around, and now he's looking this way.
Ooh. I can try and...
No. It's good. It's good.
Okay.
They got 19 hit points.
Oh yeah.
Moth.
Oh yeah. No, this can kill us. This can kill us pretty easily. Luckily, they're gonna focus on killing the fisherman first.
Well, about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They do it quick. Oh, that's my bad. I should have hexed him. Son of a bitch.
One day.
Thinking. Okay, that one's out.
Kitty!
Where's the other one at?
Right in the grass, right in front of you.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Literally about to jump out and fucking bite you.
With them toes.
Like to use my freebie? Sure. Whisper me, baby.
Oh. Oh no, freebie. Oh, okay. I know what's happening now.
Yeah. No. Don't worry. That freebie is just for you. And that comes later,
Yeah.
along with me.
Oh my god, it threw the fireball at the ground next to it. I hate how it can do that.
Oh! I'm running away. Have fun with that shit. Did you take Shock and Grasp?
No, I took Ray of Frost.
That's right. No, but you did that shit. But you hit that shit.
I did hit that shit. I'm afraid to move though. I don't want him to hit me while trying to get away and then immediately go for me again at the start of the
Right, and his ranged is way worse than his fucking melee anyway.
turn. Yeah. Hey, level up.
What's inside?
We gotta level up, see? Mini bosses is such a good mod. Bless you. Unless you die. And it's
Water.
worse.
There must be
Hey, was that the
something
sneeze you were
someone
talking about?
Yeah.
Look at that. Damn, that was a cute yeah.
Oh,
Your catboy dreams may yet be realized.
I will throw you into a pit.
Let's not say we did.
Ah. Oh, you don't want us to be thrown around, baby girl?
Well, you know, I don't want to fuck up the shared chat. They're having such fun touching tips.
Yes, Helta?
What?
Helta?
I
don't know how I feel about that.
What else to do? What's Helta doing?
I just cooking up something.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Is it spelling? Because I got bad news.
For my next spell, what am I thinking here?
Do I have dark vision? I do. And not a lot of people are casting darkness.
I want my main spells to definitely be offense oriented because you get so few spell slots with sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of don't want to waste them for utility. When I get to the point when I use a spell, I want it to like hurt.
Fair and based. I just love utility invocations so much. But I really should get Agonizing Blast. I should also get Repelling Blast, but you know what? I'm not gonna.
It's Chromatic Orb, Thunder Wave, or Witch Bolt. I don't really have a need for Burning Hands.
I don't know. You can use a short range option. Burning Hands can be nice for that.
Yeah, but Thunder Wave.
Oh yeah,
can
Thunder
also
Wave is.
I give up the potential of 2 more maximum damage points
To be able to fling motherfuckers, and then run away.
to hurt and run away.
Yeah.
Thunder Wave.
I love Thunder Wave.
Yeah,
People save
it's
every
2d6.
time, and it pisses me off.
It's 2d. Thunder Wave's 2d6. Burning Hands is a 3d6, but Thunder Wave can also yeet somebody. So that's. Helta, what are you cooking?
I'm scared. Oh, I'm so sorry to run away from the camera again, but Cat was in the bathroom, and now I'm going to go steal it.
Yeah, go for it. Okay. First 2 meta magics. I think we're going to take. Let's see. Allies automatically succeed saving throws. I don't need. Hey, what's up, Mushy? How are you doing? What is up, Mushy? I'm doing great. I still struggling to wake up a little bit, but I may have stayed up till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. But we ball. The Red Bull's doing its thing, and breakfast was tasty, so we're getting there. I am trying to decide what 2 meta magics to take. I want to take Distant Spell. Or do I want to take Extend? I'm going to take Twin Spell. Twin Spell's too good to leave alone. But it's really between Distant and Extended. Increase range spells by 50%. Melee range spells get his... Yeah. Nah, Distant Spell. There we go. Nah, you're welcome. That's what they're there for. I save those for friends and people in the space that I enjoy being around. So that's for you. Accept. Oh yeah, I gotta do Shadowheart. Change anything? Get rid of Cure Wounds. Although, ooh. Yeah, I'd rather take Bane than Cure Wounds. Cure Wounds does good healing. I just don't like the melee side of it. There we go. But yes, Mushi, I do stream on Twitch, surprisingly. I didn't. I lost internet in January, which I'm sure you saw it. I talked about it in other places that I lost internet for like 6.5 weeks. Ended up having to get a new ISP altogether, but now that I have internet and it's just as good, maybe even a little bit better, we're back and it feels good. This has been my first full week back to streaming, so it's been nice. I have missed it. I've missed just hanging out on the computer. I was having to use for 6 weeks of my life, no Tarkov with yeah, no, I miss playing Tarkov. I had withdrawals out the yang. It was terrible.
No Tarkov with Cap is a fate worse than death.
Criminal even. So, have you do your level up?
I did.
Cool. So, are we getting everyone's favorite vampire boy failure?
I do love him. I would like to grab him.
Okay, yeah. Grab him. I guess we could grab Gale.
I guess.
Yeah.
Do we want to fight these other mind flayers real quick? Or not mind flayers? Mind thingies? Intellect devourers?
Sure. Let me, hold on. Stay right here. I'm gonna go grab this other chest. Actually, I'm gonna drink one of these.
I feel bad that I for the silly, used up both our short rests.
No, it's fine. We'll get these out. Get Astarion, get Gale, and then we can go ahead and take a long rest if you want after that, just to get it knocked out.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. We fight that bear really quick. We want
the bear. Ooh, yeah.
He's not too hard.
No, I'm just thinking about the fight over where the mud mephits are.
Oh god, that one is gonna be a pain.
Yeah, because now that I know that it has that it has that clothing
that
item
thing.
there.
Yeah.
The thing that it gives us that keeps me from having to do something everybody seems to have a problem with. I don't lose
a
any sleep over
huge
it,
problem with.
but
don't even think
like,
about it. Holy shit, I didn't know there was a chest up here. What's even in that shit?
Okay, I'm gonna sneak up here.
Tell me when you're
I'm
ready.
gonna hang out back here with you. Yeah, start it up.
All right.
Or well, what you wait for the timing. Yeah.
Should get started.
Oh, shit.
I thought that's what you were going for.
I just wish I hexed a different one now.
I'm gonna alert. Keep Ty in the house. Right on, Mushy. Thanks for the alert. Thanks for stopping by.
We love and appreciate you.
Shadowheart. Shadowheart's not even in.
Oh.
Is that the only brain left?
I will not end my turn. No, there's two.
There we go.
Oh.
Now there's only one left.
Hell yeah.
W.
And he's still surprised? No, he's not surprised. He just got over surprise.
Yeah. Ow! Why do they want me?
This is a constant problem that occurs in our campaigns.
You fight well.
Yeah.
Perhaps our survival
It's
isn't such a
always
distant
me.
prospect.
And now it's not just because of
Things.
Hunter's Mark, which was hysterical.
Yeah, I was so pissed. Has a class-defining feature that requires concentration. Can't keep concentration because enemies don't want him to keep concentration.
They're like, oh, that bitch is concentrating on a spell. Fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Hunter's
It's
Mark.
not even a strong
We're
spell.
not gonna make it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go grab our boy toy.
That's your boy toy. I'm not pro Astarion.
My poor boy. My poor horny weirdo.
Hey, this is a no fuck boys household.
Tragic. Fucking tragic.
More for me?
Do you want to kill this boar first? Or this bear? Nah, we'll grab him really quick. Hold on.
Grab him. We're one short of a full party. Grab him.
Hurry! I've got one of those brain things cornered.
Just a heads up, we gotta add
In the
about
grass.
4.5 minutes.
You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
What if I didn't kill the others? Would he still say that? Yeah, sure. I kill things good. I kill things real good.
There.
It is
Can
my
you see
second
it?
favorite activity.
Hey, fuck.
Well,
Shh. Not a sound. Not if you want to keep that darling neck of yours.
Aw, see, he
No.
thinks I'm darling.
I saw you on the ship, didn't I? Not?
It's amazing how he tries to keep, like, this aura of power
this-
while we
that
are
air,
in the ground
Yeah.
together.
yeah.
We
While
are-
having two other people that both have ranged casting magic standing looming over.
Right? Yeah, fuck it.
Oh, okay.
Die. I'm gonna take a tooth. I'm gonna
Cease to exist.
You wretched little.
Little. Come here, twink boy. I'm gonna fold you into a pretzel.
Prowling dark, busy streets.
Yeah.
You try
Yeah.
to hold the memory, but
There's
it
not much
fades
little
to the
about what's
worm.
going on here.
The light, the fear.
What was that? What's going on? The worm. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards.
Glad we're all caught up.
Indeed we are.
Glad we figured that out.
Please, allow me to introduce myself.
While you
My
finish this cutscene, I'm gonna go
name's
check on something really fast.
Alrighty.
I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me. Is that so? We clearly move in different circles.
Yeah, I don't
So,
venture into the
Do you know
fucking
anything
I'm a
about
little
these
bitch club.
worms?
Shit, that's not a very good com. Fuck, shit. Yeah, we
Turns
die.
into-
We die horrifically and then we eat people.
Of course, it'll turn me into a monster. What else did I expect? Although, it hasn't happened yet. If we can find an expert, someone that can control these things, there might still be time.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
I'll forgive you. Just so you know, Asterion said a thing, and then I came up with a really good comeback, and it wasn't me stuttering and not coming up with one at all. It was really, really good. It was a real biter.
You know, I
believe
was
you.
ready to go
Thanks.
this alone.
I love when you believe
But
my
maybe
lies.
sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea. And you seem like a useful person to know.
I'm so useful.
All right. I accept. Lead on.
Yippee, yippee,
All right.
yippee.
Level up your twink, and then we will go kill a bear.
I love leveling up a rogue. Except,
Yeah.
done. Sick. Moving on.
Well, hello.
Bear time?
Bear time.
Bear. It's down this way, isn't it?
You're...
Is it this way, or keep going?
It's a little jump. Sorry, I was moving
No one
his,
back home will
his
ever believe
actions
this.
around.
With haste.
I see it now.
Forgot how to ping. No picnic basket stealing for you, good sir.
67 hit points.
Yeah, he's easy. He twernt nothing.
Well, I mean, we did knock out almost half
Yeah.
in one go, so...
And the nice thing about the mini-bosses, the early mini-bosses it adds, is that it always puts them at a terrain disadvantage. So he has to cross the water, so it takes him a little longer. It's just cool. I like it a lot.
We all attacked out of turn. I'm going back here later. Oh, Shark didn't. We're gonna get Gale after this and get a long rest, so I'll just...
Oh. Okay.
You got in my way right as I was...
Did you shoot me in the back of the head?
No, I didn't get to do... Like, I was gonna do inflict wounds, and right as she went to run up to do it...
Oh. Hey, look at that.
Hey, look at that.
Easy peasy.
Watching me.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Who among us have strength?
Deep grooves in the mud around that rock.
I hope it's your half-orc, or
Nope.
whatever you are.
Nope, sure isn't. Does Shadowheart have enough?
What to do?
It's been a long
Hold
day.
on.
If you
I
didn't
gotta-
change her shit,
I
maybe.
need to rest soon.
No, I didn't change your shit, but people are... There we go.
Ah. Yippee! Stuff.
Stuff. We love stuff.
We love
things.
stuff.
All right.
Very well.
I want it on record that last Sunday, it was 78 degrees. And there was thunderstorms with tornadoes, and then Monday and Tuesday, it did not get out of the 30s. And now it's gonna be it stayed in like the 50s, and now today's high is 80.
Yeah, you're over there in bipolar weather.
There.
Yeah.
The mind flame.
Well, remember we were talking about how you get 3 winters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on spring. I'm on my second false
What do I
spring.
have to lose?
Not
Although,
again.
I think the first official.
Death is too good for it.
Oh yeah, I remember. I know what you're doing now.
I am fucking not falling for that shit twice. I was like, oh, silly little cutscene. Fucking one revival scroll later.
Yeah, I remember.
Hide in here.
I remember that. That was so funny. Just yeeting you out of existence.
That shit was so funny. I went back and watched that clip, and there's such a genuine laugh out of you.
Yeah, it was just great because you're just standing there because of how the character models look out of dialogue to someone that's not watching the dialogue, and so you're just existing, standing there. And then I asked you, "You want me to try killing it?" And you said you could try, and I did it. And while you're just standing straight, like wood plank tall, you just yeet back like 12 feet. Like somebody
Just
punched
fucking
you.
looks away for a second and looks back, fucking dead. What happened?
Dead. Yeah, it was great.
Does Gale count as a twink? I don't think he does.
No, he's a boy failure.
I think he's just a male manipulator, and that might just be my hate of wizard showing.
Is that your hate of wizards or your hate of Gale as a person? Because both are. Yes.
Yeah.
Let me get that sweet, sweet guidance, baby girl.
Wait, how are you
Didn't need it, but-
charismaing that? Oh yeah, sorcerers use charisma.
Yeah, sorcerers are charisma.
Me win the double charisma party?
This party can talk you out of anything right now. Especially if we kept Astarion.
Ooh, speaking of, are you switching Shadowheart out for Gale?
No.
No.
We don't need that many casters.
Quadcaster party. Rolling through, blowing everything up, leaving.
I'll look at it like this way. Offensive caster, me. Support caster, Shadowheart. The rotating, like, all-arounder is your Warlock in all its
Jack of all trades, good at nothing.
Yeah. And then, I guess,
Basil
we
the
need
tank.
a front line. We need a front line. So
Basil or
Basil.
Karlach, one of them. Either
Whichever
will
you
do
feel
the
like.
job.
If you're fine with it, I'm going to stick with Shard on this run.
Yeah,
so
no, that's good.
Whoever you want, I would just prefer someone capable of maintaining a front line.
I mean, if I make Gale a Blade Dancer, technically, we could make him a dodge tank. He'd be terrible at it, but I could do it.
So bad at it, but it would be so funny to do that not on a For Honor run.
Oh, yeah. No fun. No 2EPK speed run for us.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I found myself hoping, as we've established, we're most certainly going to need a healer, and soon too.
We have one.
Oh, I'll make my way to your camp.
All right.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
Uh-oh. What happened? You okay? Is everything good? Muff. Muff. Muff, hello.